Hello, welcome to this new video. In this video we are going to have a look at the library called as AutoGen. So what is AutoGen? So AutoGen is nothing but a framework or library that is developed for Python programming language that enables the development of large language model application. So how AutoGen is designed is that we can assign a particular agent and particular instance of LLM. So what this allows us to do is that we can customize the role of a particular LLM using prompt to perform a specific role using that particular agent. So thereby we can create a very complex workflow, and we can assign each agent a particular set of rules it has to follow to give us more clear and optimized output instead of just an LLMs like ChatGPT or bot. So these agents are designed in such a way that these are customizable and can have conversation with each other, and also allow human participation as well. Then some of the key features of AutoGen. So the key features of AutoGen is that they have many predefined instance of agent which we can directly use. So one such agent is called as assistant agent. So what is assistant agent? Is nothing but it is a very simple agent which is derived from a base class called as conversible agent, and that assistant agent is designed in such a way that we can assign a particular instance of LLM with its own set of system prompts and other prompts which can define a particular role to that agent. Then we have something called as user proxy agent. It is nothing but an agent. Whenever that particular agent is called in a conversation, it asks the user from us inputs we can enter into that particular conversation. Then we have something called as retrieve assistant agent, which is nothing but an extension of assistant agents that has the ability to retrieve data from particular databases or files in a particular environment. Then we have something called as a retrieve user proxy agent, which is nothing but a user proxy agent that is designed to interact with that particular retrieve assistant agent. Then we have something called as a teachable agent. So teachable agent is nothing but a new agent which can interact with user and has the ability to store that interaction in a database. So what it does is that, so next time it is having a conversation, it looks for what all it has learned from that previous conversation and accordingly creates the new outputs. So this way we can optimize that particular ability of that agent to give more better output in a form which we want. Then next we are going to have a look at some sample workflows. So as I have said earlier, the base agent is called as conversible agent. So this conversible agent can be defined into two, that is assistant agent and then user proxy agent. So the assistant agent is designed in such a way that it can accept a particular instance of LLM. Then we have user proxy agent, which has the ability to get inputs from that particular user as well as execute Python code. So in a multi-agent conversation, that is a very simple workflow of AutoGen. We can define an assistant agent and a user proxy agent and allow it to interact with each other, with the user proxy agent having the ability to interact or execute Python code. That is why you see that Python symbol over there. Then we have another set of conversation which is called as a group conversation. So in group conversation, what happens is that there are many instances of assistant agent and user proxy agent, and there is something called as a main chat manager which allows interaction between these agents, and the main role of chat manager is to decide which agent it should next assign in that particular conversation. Then we have something called as the hierarchical chart. So in hierarchical chart, what happens is that we have a main agent under which some agents are assigned. So unlike the previous chat where the chat manager's only role is to assign the next agent in that conversation, in hierarchical chat what happens is that the main agent itself has the ability to take input and provide output and also assign works to specific agent based on its own, based on the specific role of the agents which are defined under it. So this way a very a structured set of commands can be executed under an agent, and it can combine all those information from the lower agents and make it a better output. Next, we are having a look at some of the parameters that are defined in this particular agents. So the base class is conversible agent, and in that, from that we derive assistant agent. In assistant agent, we have something called as human input mode, which always is never. Then we have a code execution config, which if set to true it has the ability to execute code, but for assistant agent it is always set to false. And then we have the system default prompt. Then we have a human user proxy agent, where the human input mode will be always. Then we have something, the group chat manager, which where the human input mode is also never, and it under which we have some parameter called as group chat, which has the list of all agents. Next, we are having a look at some of the sample workflows. So the first workflow is a math solving problem. So as you know, LLM are very good at generating text, but it is not so good at solving math related problems. So we can create a workflow by which we can ask a set of LLMs to perform individual math problems, or set of individual math tasks, so as not to complicate the whole task and give it to a single LLM. Thereby we are improving the ability of the LLM to solve a particular maths problem. Then we are having a look at the multi-agent coding, in which the main agent, under which we are defining two agents called as writer and a safeguarder. So the writer basically writes code, and the safeguarder makes sure that the code is correct and all other safeguarding features. Then the commander executes the code and gives the result back to the writer and the safeguarder to make any corrections if needed. Then we have something called as online decision making. It is a very simple workflow where an assistant agent can have a conversation with an executor agent to execute some particular task. In OpenAI we call it as function task. So this function task, we can define custom functions that the LLM can execute. So within this custom function we can use other APIs such as Wikipedia, etc., to make that particular LLM execute that particular function. Then we have something called as retrieval augmented chat. In retrieval augmented chat, it is nothing but the conversation between the retrieval assistant agent and the retrieval user proxy agent. And the one addition thing is that the retrieval assistant agent has the ability to access dataset to get information from the database. Then we have something called as the dynamic group chat, which I have explained in the previous conversation itself. The manager assigns a particular set of tasks based on the previous output to each agent, and then each agent when taking all the input and provides an output, and again the manager decides which agent next it should assign the task based on the previous output. Next, we have something called as the conversational chess. In conversational chess, what happens is that we have an agent which has the ability to execute Python code. Then we have two other assistant agents where we ask it to play a specific chess player's role. So player 1 and player 2. So these three can have conversation with each other and simulate a chess game on its own. So these are all the sample workflows which I have explained. So hope you have got a basic understanding of AutoGen works and different workflows you can like define in that AutoGen and get to know about AutoGen.